Is it more fun blocking Rod Smith or Carlos, just power blocking like that, or getting out on the edge with Braxton or what?
Yeah, I think our offensive line definitely likes running the power stuff. That's just kind of who we are, and but we do run some different, unique inside stuff with Braxton too. So I think our guys love everything. Our O-line. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think there's any plays that we really don't like, just because we know and we understand that Coach Meyer has all those things drawn up, and anything could be a home run.
What was the most exciting thing you saw him do? We all talk about the Penn State play, even though it was only 1 yard.
Yeah.
Because so many guys miss in such a short space.
I think the Indiana game, the first play of the second half, he scored a 70-yard touchdown or something. Right. I think that might have been one of my favorites. Let's see what else. I think it was against Illinois. He threw a bomb down the left sideline to Rod Smith. I think that was pretty exciting, just because it showed his arm. The Penn State play. What else? I think those are probably three of my favorites that he's done.
Hey Jack, have you warmed up to the idea of playing Michigan back-to-back weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked about that a lot, but I hadn't really given any thought about it until today. Because I wasn't even thinking that far ahead, but I think it would be a unique opportunity to be able to say that you played your rival 2 weeks in a row. It would be a physical 2 weeks, and I think our team would definitely embrace the opportunity to do that.
It would seem to be a best-case scenario for both teams, because if only one of you advanced to the Big Ten championship game, coming off a huge rivalry game like that. Then just looking down through the years even after this year, it's like it would seem like the leaders division with Michigan and Ohio State in that division, coming off a huge rivalry game, going into the league championship game, maybe the team in the other divisions coming off of a game against somebody, a bottom dweller or something.
Right.
It's always going to seem to work to your disadvantage as long as that's the last regular season game of the year.
Right.
I mean, how hard is it going to be to get up emotionally back-to-back weeks like that?
I don't think it'll be hard at all. We got a great core leadership on our team. A lot of high-energy guys. I don't think it would be hard to get up emotionally, just because you understand who you're playing against, and that's our biggest rival. And physically, both teams are going to be equally beat up. It's a physical game for both sides, so I think.
So you see what I'm saying? I mean, as long as it's Ohio State, Michigan, you guys are on an even playing field because you're both coming off that emotional game.
Yeah.
Say it's Ohio State against Nebraska played Purdue or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you guys are always going to be at a disadvantage because you're playing that game the last regular season game of the year.
Yeah.
So maybe the other team doesn't have to, in the league championship, isn't coming off an emotional high.
Right.
It's going to be tough.
I think wouldn't that be an advantage to be coming off an emotional high like that?
Get up like that.
Momentum based. Yeah, I think absolutely we can get up like that. I think I've seen this team do it before, and once you get a lot of good momentum going, I think you start rolling and it works to your advantage as opposed to being a negative for you.
Who knows what Carlos' status is going to be? If Rod Smith becomes the guy, how much have you seen from him that makes you think he is or isn't ready to?
I think Rod Smith is a great running back. I've seen him do a lot of great things, especially in practice. I think if he gets the opportunity, he'll capitalize on it absolutely. I think you guys have seen him run hard too. There's been some games where he's really opened up and ran for some tough yards. So I think Rod Smith is a great talent, and I think we're gonna count on him a lot this year.
I mean, it's amazing that 2 years ago he didn't go to the Gator Bowl, just didn't make the flight. Did you think then that's probably the last I'll see of Rod Smith?
No, I don't. I don't really know. I don't think I have a lot of thoughts on that, but I think he's dug himself out of a lot of holes before. He's a resilient guy, so I think he's in it for the long run now. I've seen a level of commitment this summer from him that I don't think I've ever seen from him before, and I'm excited about him just because of his physical abilities, and he's grown up a lot over the last couple months.
And what about the younger guys, the Durant Guns, the Warren Halls? I don't know what you've seen of Ezekiel. What can you say about those guys?
I think when those guys get their chance, they're gonna capitalize on it too. We got a lot of young running backs. They don't have a lot of experience, and they got good players in front of them, so they may not necessarily see the touches that they want. But I think when it's their time to shine, they'll be all right. And I have a lot of confidence in those guys. They have a lot of talent, and like I said, when they get their shot, I think they're gonna go.
A lot of off-field stuff like what happened last week. I don't want to belabor that. Do you think there would be any merit to coaches being allowed to have more contact with players during the offseason and provide that structure? Is that something you would, I don't know if maybe the idea of like organized practice during the summer is like.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that, that specifically would be, the best idea, just because, you have camp coming up and you don't want to wear your guys out. But I don't know from a coaching standpoint. But I know Coach Meyer has he's got his core values in place, and when he lets us go at the end of spring, we're expected to follow him. Those are drilled into us every day, and he's got a system set up, and we know if we follow it, we'll be all right. So he's definitely got structure there, even when he's not around or the coaches aren't around. And if you go off that, bad things happen. And I know that from experience. And so I think there is structure there, and I don't know that having the coaches around more would benefit as much as just I think it's on the job of the seniors and the leaders to make sure the team's going in the right direction.